Hey, what's up, everyone? Morey Croson here, and today we're going to be going over the top 5 American sprinters of all time. Really excited about being able to do this. This is something that we obviously are looking at all the time, which is the sprinting form, sprinting technique, and so thought it would be great to do the top 5 American sprinters. We'll hop right into it. This is going to be male sprinters, by the way. I'm going to start off, and I'm sure this is going to be controversial. I'd love to hear what your guys' opinions are when we get to the end, or even during. If you want to, just leave a comment down below. But we're going to start off with Maurice Greene as number 5, two-time Olympic champion. Best time that he ran was a 9:79 in the 100, primarily a 100-meter guy. He ran a 6:39 in the 60, which was a big accomplishment. It was one of the best 60-meter runners of all time, 60-meter sprinters of all time. And again, he was a amazing 100-meter runner as well, but just figured that he would end up being number 5. And part of the reason was because of this race right here. I ended up choosing Justin Gatlin for number 4 on the list of the best American sprinters of all time. Justin Gatlin, he might not be as accomplished, but he was a world champion 4-time, and then he was a 1-time Olympic champion. Maurice Greene, 5-time world champion, 2-time Olympic champion. But again, Justin Gatlin got him in that one race, and also he ended up running a little bit faster personal best. 6:45 in the 60, which isn't as good, but a 9:74 in comparison to Maurice Greene's 9:79, which to me made it so you can go and make an argument that he is a better overall sprinter. The Maurice Greene ran a 19:86 in the 200, where Justin Gatlin ran a 19:57 in the 200. So a little bit better at the longer distances. Obviously, Maurice Greene with a 6:39 was faster in the shorter distance. And then with number 3, we're going to be going to Noah Lyles. And again, I recently did a video that was talking about it. Is Noah Lyles the best sprinter of all time, best American sprinter of all time? And, obviously people are bringing up Maurice Greene and Justin Gatlin as people that are potentially better. In terms of the resume, I would say definitely, he was a 6-time world champion, which is great. Still hasn't won the Olympic championship, but I do think that in a couple months he is going to win at least the 200-meter. This is kind of assuming that he ends up being the 200-meter champion, just because he's been so dominant in the 200 meters. If we look to see what he on World Athletics, he's ranked number 1 in the 200 for 213 weeks. So he's been pretty dominant in the 200 for a pretty long period of time. He's also number 1 in the 100 meter for his best time. So the 100 meter, 9:83, and the 100, that's obviously not as good as Justin Gatlin, not as good as Maurice Greene, but he is the current national record holder in the 200 with the 19:31. So hard not to have him higher up on the list, especially given if he could win that 200-meter gold as well as the 100-meter gold. If he can get both of those, and even the 4x1, get 3 gold medals, then that would obviously make a big impact on his overall legacy. Again, I think he's going to get that, and that's why I'm putting him at number 3. I wouldn't put him at number 3 if I didn't think he was going to actually be able to achieve those. Number 2, we're going to go with Michael Johnson, and this could be a bit of a debatable thing just because we saw, and I almost put Noah Lyles number 2, but I think Michael Johnson, he was just so dominant in the 2 and the 4 for so long. 4-time Olympic champion, 8-time world champion, ran the 200 in 9:32, ran the 100. His best 100 time was 10:09, not a great 100 time, but ran a 43:18. It's still a national record in the 400. So he was a little bit more of a 2 and 400 guy. And yeah, again, 4-time Olympic champion at a time, had the world record before it was broken by Usain Bolt, but still amazing sprinter, and I think deserves to be the number 2. Number 1, best sprinter of all time, is Carl Lewis. Carl Lewis ended up being a great, he ended up having the world record, and in the 100, he won the long jump, I want to say 3 times, and I know that doesn't have to do with sprinting, but in terms of just like overall accomplishments, he won the long jump, was a gold medalist in the long jump 4 times actually. Won the 200 meter and came in second in the 200 meter. and then won the 100-meter twice, and then also the 4x1 twice. So was again, 9-time Olympic champion, 8-time world champion, had a world record in the 100 that ended up getting beaten. Best time 986 in the 100. Well, ran 978, but with wind aided 986 with non-wind aided. He ran 1975 in the 200. I know these times aren't as good. They also had a world record for the 4x1. Was on a world record setting team in the 4x1, and yeah, was a great long jumper, had one of the best long jumps of all time, and was just, I think, the most, in terms of his accomplishments at the time. So when he ran like the 986, that was 1991. He ran the 200, the 1975 and 1983. So he was really dominant through the 80s into the 90s when running sub 10 was really impressive. I mean, Michael Johnson was in more of the mid 90s to early 2000s. His best 100 was 10:09. So the fact that Carl Lewis was running 986, there wasn't anybody running 986 at that time. Like those were great times to be able to run. And so, yeah, I mean, I think that he has to be the best overall sprinter just because of the accomplishments that he was able to make, and also what he was able to do in terms of his times at the time. So obviously, if we looked at his times today, they are not nearly as impressive as they were back then, but we've also advanced a lot in track and field. And so now there are, a couple hundred people that get under 10 seconds in the 100-meter, where at that time there would be maybe 10 in the course of the whole season that would run under 10 seconds. And so running 986 was the best. So it's just a different time period in terms of what he was able to do. And again, at that time, running 986 was super impressive. Again, 8-time world champion. A lot of them ended up being the 4x1 and ended up being the long jump, but he won the 100, 1, 2, 3 times, 3-time 100-meter champion. So some great accomplishments. And as always, guys, I hope you like the information. If you do, click that thumbs up down below. Subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, comments, or recommendations, you can leave those down below. Always like doing these videos, being able to just give a little bit more input into some of the best sprinters of all time, some of the best athletes we've ever seen. Again, if you like the information, like, subscribe, check out the description to find out more about our programs, the things that we do for athletes to help them with their sprinting, make it so they can improve. This is really content to give you guys more information about the sprinting community at large and give you a little bit more information about some of the things that we do to help out sprinters to make it so you guys can get to the next level. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon.